Summer is officially here, and it's time to talk about romance beach reads. Welcome to Reading Under the Covers, a romance novel podcast where we chat, fangirl, and maybe even swoon over our latest reads. I'm Francesca from Under the Covers Book Blog, and today I have a special guest that comes to talk about all things beach reads, and especially comes with some romance beach read recommendations that are new releases and perfect for you to be reading right now. Joining me today is Victoria from Biblio Lifestyle, which you also might know her from our Novel Hour live show that we do every single week. Now, Victoria is also coming with some interesting information about beach reads and where the idea of a beach read came from. So let's welcome her to the podcast and get right into it. Hey, Victoria, welcome to the podcast. I know that you're probably here all the time because everybody knows you from Novel Hour anyways.
Yes, but I'm still so excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
I'm really excited to talk about beach reads with you because I know that this is a topic that you have a lot of knowledge on and you are very well versed. And I am actually really excited about a project that you have going on, and I want to tell everybody about it. And it's diving a little bit deeper into some of the history of the beach read. Like, we're all used to hearing the term beach reads or summer reads and that kind of stuff, but there are actually things that we could dig a little bit deeper into. So can you tell us a little bit, give us a little glimpse? I know that you have more coming on, and tell us also about that's coming on.
Yes, I have a whole series coming to YouTube. You can start binging starting Friday. So today, when this goes live, I'm really excited about it. I will be sharing briefly a bit about the history of beach reads, the definition of a beach read, how beach reads came to be. I also did a beach reads series last year, so you can find those videos as well. And then I'm going to do recommendations for this year as well. So I'll be sharing them by genre. So yeah, over the next week or two, everyone can just binge them. I think it's very interesting, especially as readers kind of going back to what the history of beach reads are, where did it come from? And I just did a casual Google search, like we do. And I found this article that was very enlightening. It's by Katie Waldman. It was published originally in the New Yorker, and it was entitled The Invention of the Beach Read. And I think it's a great read, so I'll definitely pass along the link so that readers can read more about it as well. But essentially, she was saying beach reading began in the 1900s. So this has been happening for a while, but it was due to two major developments. The first one is that travel became easier and more widely accessible, because back then, that's when railroads were really becoming a thing and connecting cities and towns and everything. Also steamships as well. So because travel became, more prevalent, it provided an opportunity for folks to escape the overcrowded cities. And then you pair that with the fact that folks were also inspired to do this because of all the magazines and newspapers that were coming out at the time. They were running articles on like summer towns, resort towns, summer activities, things to do. Again, all starting in the early 1900s. So seeing these images, getting these tips, you'd see pictures of people doing strolls, and leisurely reading. So it really started there. And of course, like publishers do, even today, what do? Jump on the trend, jump on the bandwagon, and they started creating summer reading lists and guides and series, essentially to keep people occupied for the entire summer. So technically, beach reading started back then. However, the term itself came into popular use during the 1990s. So while summer reading trends began back in the 1900s, and I dare say beach reading too, the term itself became more in pop culture in the 90s.
Yeah, I actually think it's really interesting, the fact of what it was, where it originated. And I think there is such a big parallel with social media right now and how that has brought more like a light on the beach reading experience because of influencers and people traveling and taking the book with them and taking a picture. And I think that's really brought it more to the modern day, I guess, and why it's so popular right now. I feel like in the 90s, maybe you didn't hear about it as much, but now for sure it's like everywhere.
Yes, everyone is doing their beach reads list. Everybody's doing their summer reading guide. I mean, I have one as well, shameless plug.
Yes. Yes,
Yes.
you guys need to go download the summer reading guide because it's amazing. We'll put a
Yes.
link in the description.
Yes. Thank you so much. But yeah, essentially, you know what? It's repackaging and redoing things again, because you're right, we really didn't hear it much in the early 90s. But essentially, it's just a marketing push. It's a way to, I guess, be a bit superficial to kind of say, well, you don't normally read throughout the rest of the year, but summer reading is a
Mhm.
thing. So they're kind of really pushing it through that lens.
Which kind of makes sense. I mean, kids are, going maybe on a summer vacation. Parents are off from work because they're with the kids or doing more activities with the kids. So maybe they have a little more downtime, let's say. But
Yes.
I also know that actual beach reads, they do tend to have certain categories or certain things that you can expect from a beach read. What is that for you? Like, what is the ideal beach read for you?
See, that's the thing. I think beach reads are just absolutely unique to each reader, because what I
Mm-hmm.
describe as a beach read might not be for other folks. For
Yeah.
me, I just need something that will catch my attention, something that is gripping, whether it's light or it's serious, whether it's revisiting history or transporting me to a whole brand new world, whether it's romance or even just something super literary or even a classic that someone would consider really dense. I think
Mhm.
the good mark to look for in a beach read is just something that captures your attention and something that you take with you on holiday. Because
Yeah.
again, it goes back to this stereotype of beach reading. It's a book you pick up, you take with you on holiday. That's why people will pick up books and magazines in the airports, or they're going on a road trip. You pack in advance for that. So for me, I just want something that has a compelling storyline, that has a main character. I don't have to agree with them, but I'm invested in their story to see where they're going. And sometimes, I will get behind an unlikable character because, again, I don't want to always agree or see myself reflected, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that that's also important. A lot of people only read if they can see themselves reflected. And I actually like being in the head of someone that is so completely different than me and getting to understand their perspective, because sometimes it's all about that understanding. Even though at the end of the day, I'm still not going to agree with their actions, but I like being able to understand them. And it gives me also a better understanding of people in general. So actually,
Yeah.
for me, a perfect beach treat is a thriller. I just want like a Ruth Ware, like something very Agatha Christie like that for me
Mhm.
is peak beach reads. Also, women's fiction in general, like take me on this journey with you, or just make me laugh, like a romantic comedy. Like that's the three things that I will usually reach out to when I'm looking at a beach read. Like I don't want to think too much. I don't want a lot of world building. Even though yes, with a thriller you're thinking, but like it's easy thinking for me.
No, I get it. And I love that though, because again, it goes back to my thesis is that beach reading isn't a set genre. It really is unique to each
It is.
individual. And I'm just really excited that we can make beach reads out of any genre, because that's kind
Yeah.
of where I am mentally, which is why I created the series on the YouTube as well. You can find a beach read in any genre. I just think
Mhm.
it needs to transport you and check certain marks, like you're invested in characters,
Yeah.
or what the outcome of a situation is going to be.
And definitely, I think something that's not as dense. Like, I
Yeah.
feel like when you're on holiday, because of just the general lifestyle that you're living in that moment, you're probably not just sitting with the book for 8 hours. You're picking it up, putting it down, and all of that. So, it needs to be a story that it's easy to put down and get back into.
Yes.
So, I think that's probably also another good characteristic to have.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But I'm excited to pick your brain for some recommendations today. And we're going to be talking romance. So, romance beach read recommendations. I know you came with lots of good ones to share.
Yes, I'm super excited. I think romance makes for great beach reading because, again, we're suspending reality and we're getting invested in characters that you're either going to get super behind or you're going to be looking at them sideways. And the first book I'm going to recommend, a lot of people online have been looking at this book sideways, but I'm here to advocate for it. And it's Problematic Summer Romance by Ali Hazelwood. Now, just in case you're not familiar, we have a main character that I was actually familiar with because I read Ali's book. Her name is Maya. She was in the previous book, Not in Love. However, you don't need to read that book in order to, appreciate this one. Anyway, so that character is back in this one, and this time on the Sicilian coast, which again, when I think summer, I think Italy. I've spent more summers in Italy than I'd like to admit, but I consider it a blessing. And we see her kind of plotting to kind of finally figure out if, or secondary character whose name is Hark, her brother's best friend, actually feels the spark that she has felt for years. Now, it's told in flashbacks because these people had, met, because again, it's her brother's best friend. So you kind of know the person through this side proximity. However, years later is when they kind of really start to get to know each other themselves. So it's told in flashbacks. So we have the week before her brother's wedding, and we see her having to navigate like an age gap relationship. Now, I think that's part of the reason why people are in an uproar about it. She's also dealing with family expectations and her own big feelings to kind of see if, the connection that they have, the banter they have, if it can turn into something real. Now, I think age gap romances are something that is seen across popular culture. I'm a reality TV connoisseur. I think it's there. I think it's there in movies as well. Are some of them problematic? Yes. But I actually think Ali Hazelwood handled this one with care. Now, full disclosure, I am not triggered by age gap relationships. Maybe someone is. But if you're not, I think this one is great. There's lots of sass. It's warm-hearted. There's family drama. And again, Ali Hazelwood's trademark blend of just witty, giggle-worthy dialogue. There's feminism in there as well. And I think you'll get behind our main characters' bravery, but also our heroes' kind of sensible approach, but also a smitten heart as well. And just seeing them tackle the problematic title head on. So I think it's a good beach read. It's like taking a mini vacation to Sicily. There's, beautiful terraces, lots of Negronis, and just a great romance. I think it's breezy, but it has enough depth to kind of spark conversation. Have you read this one, Fran?
I have not read it, but I am actually really tempted to read it. First of all, because whenever the whole world is in uproar, like I kind of want to go and read it anyway, just to see for myself what was the problem. I think a lot of people will harp on age gap romances, and lately Ali has been getting it just because she's Ali. So I think that's probably one of the reasons, more so than the age gap. It's like just finding something else to harp on.
Yeah.
But I am really actually excited to read it because of the setting, like the whole mix of things. It actually, like every time I think about it, I think of this Netflix show that I watched called Maestro in Blue, which is set in Greece, and it is an age gap romance. Now that one is a little problematic.
Okay.
But I still really enjoyed it. And I think like it probably will bring some of that, because I think like the charm of putting them in that setting also adds to the story and all of the depth and exploring certain things. So I'm really actually excited to read that one. It's definitely on my TBR.
Yes, I will say again, Ali, I feel handled this one with care. And it's a smarter take on a woman's agency and also handling age gap. So don't be afraid, everyone.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid.
Yeah.
Okay, my next book is It's a Love Story by Annabelle Monaghan. I think her name is also synonymous with the summer, but I really enjoyed this one because our main character's name is Jane, she was a former tween TV star and now is a film producer. So I kind of love seeing that transition, TV star, now you're behind the camera. But we see her really desperate to escape her kind of image that she had from back in the day, which is kind of a nerdy sidekick kind of person. So anyway, she locks down the rights to her dream script, a really fun, honest, no holds barred love story. And she discovers that there's this other person, right, the man in the story, who is super on board. However, they clash on every creative decision. It's a mess. So anyways, to kind of see someone who's a pop star icon from the past come in the mix as well too, that was very interesting. I just love seeing our main character having to face her teenage crush face to face as well, because former pop star, girls used to crush over these people. So I love seeing that as well. We have a festival in the story as well. It's set in Long Island. You get the fireworks both on and off camera, and I think it's just fun. So witty banter, big screen delights. I think I love seeing tension between two people who are kind of stuck together, and then kind of seeing sparks fly. So you get that small town charm in a weird way too, family warmth in scenes. And again, you're going to be behind our main character. You want to see her do well. And I think it's just a great beach read because it's addictive. I found it equal parts rom-com chaos, but also the summer festival vibes. So the setting really helped as well. And I think, readers will breeze through this one.
I actually think you just sold me on that one. I was tempted to read it. It's been a while since I read Annabelle Monaghan, and I think I'm sold now because I always really do enjoy any kind of celebrity messy drama for the summer. I think that's also very juicy. Anything gossipy. So I think that that's probably a perfect one. Really good.
I love that. I love that. But I also have a book, if people want to step back into Victorian times, and it's Rules for Ruin by Mimi Matthews. So you're going back to Victorian England. We have our main character who is training at this finishing school. And of course, finishing schools, teaching young women how to kind of go out in society, be charming, host events, etiquette, all the things. However, that's what she's doing by day. She is fighting the patriarchy at night, and I was here for it. So it's romance, but you kind of get a little bit of adventure as well, because you kind of see her going undercover to kind of expose a corrupt politician, which I was really here for. But then we also have our other main character, the guy, who is a bit of, rough around the edges, London slum vibe. So imagine finishing school, woman, right? And now you have someone, from the slums kind of joining her on her mission. But he also has his own reasons behind that as well, which, we will see. And just kind of seeing them go at it and debating each other, you kind of realize there's this magnetic pull between them that they can't resist. So slow burn in this one though, because, Victorian times. But it also has a cat and mouse thing to it that I really appreciated. It's clever, sharp dialogue. And I just love how Mimi Matthews just really blends the historical detail, but also a heroine who's just very bold, but also very stylish too. I think it's still a good beach read, okay, even though we're going back to Victorian times, because you get the lighter heat, but sizzling chemistry. And I kind of love that as well. I love sometimes when you kind of have to work for it. Plus, of course, like I said, you have the little adventure edge as well. So I think this is perfect if you want a good indulgence that gives you the romance, but also a little mystery as well.
That sounds perfect. And I really love a class difference in historical times, especially. Like, I'll take that over a class difference in contemporary for sure. I think it adds a lot of tension. So, like the finishing school and the slums, perfect.
Yes, I love it. And I hope readers give that one a chance. Next up is closing out a trilogy. And I was really second guessing sharing this one, but I was like, you know what? Maybe folks might want to binge a romance trilogy. So in that case, I do want to recommend Alexis Daria. Now, her latest book is called Along Came a Moor. This is the last book, like I said, in a trilogy. But about this book specifically, we have a middle school teacher. Her name is Ava. She hit her 30s. She's freshly divorced and she's questioning everything in life. And then she has this steamy one-night stand with this hotel mogul. He should just be a one-night stand and that's it. But fate, of course, brings them back together. A wedding guest list as well. And I think summer screams wedding. So the fact that they were brought back together, because of this wedding, one as the maid of honor, one as the best man at their cousin's engagement party, I was like, okay, I'm here for this. Of course, they have their whole no feelings pact, but of course that goes out the window because, they're here together. So we see them kind of having those stolen kisses moments that I love. And that just screams summer. Again, wedding. Lots of chemistry in this one. Sizzling scenes too. I love the family dynamic because that's another thing you have to deal with at weddings. But also, again, summer setting with a summer crew. It is funny. It is witty as well. And I think it's a great beach read, even though, again, it's the finale in this trilogy. But again, if you love this one, you can go back because there are other two books to read as well. So yeah, I think it's fun.
And actually going back to the fact that celebrities are perfect for the summer, the first book in that is a celebrity romance.
Yes.
So like you can just dive right in. And in fact, I think Alexis Daria does celebrity romances quite a bit. She has a whole other series that is like a Dancing with the Stars theme. Yes. That if you haven't read that, that's also perfect for summer. So just binge the whole author.
Yes, I think Alexis Daria is peak summer reading, warm weather in general. So yeah, I co-sign that as well. So now I'm going into my favorite topic ever, and that's reality TV. Now, I think reality TV is perfect for the summer, especially when you have like a lower work profile. I hope you do. Or maybe you're off for the summer maybe, or just taking your vacation time. I use that time to catch up on my TV, okay? So I'm recommending to you Fan Favorite by Adrian Gunn. I've been recommending it all over the place, and we have our main character. I think it's Eddie or Edie, not sure. But she's a reality TV addict, so girl of my own heart. And unfortunately, though, she's fresh off a painful breakup. And then she learns that her high school love is the star of a new reality TV dating show. So, of course, because she's fresh off a breakup, she's having those nostalgic feelings, what ifs, but also some liquid courage too. And she tweets her way, tweeting, which of course is a big part of reality TV culture. But she tweets her way onto the cast, onto the show. So, of course, between what all reality fans feel like, there's behind the scenes drama that's engineered, right? So there's engineered drama, but also her own drama to stay authentic as well and stay on the show. She ends up finding an ally in a showrunner, which, by the way, there is a real reality TV star who married her producer, Real Housewife. If you know, you know. I'm not going to spoil it, but that happened for real. So I was super invested in this book because her ally now is a showrunner whose job is to provoke the chaos and kind of put things in their airs. However, is also bending the rules to kind of keep her safe on the show. So this is filled with also pop culture Easter eggs and satire as well, the reality TV backdrop, the laugh out loud moments, and a heroine who is part fangirl, because again, she's a fan of the show, but now she's on the show as well, which is again, another trend we're seeing in reality TV. The longer these shows are on, people are fans, and now fans are on the show. So it is a mess up between real world and reality TV. I think it's a perfect beach read because it's like watching your favorite guilty pleasure show, except you get to binge it in the pages, okay, instead of having to wait for an episode come out next week and then the following week. So if you want a lighthearted escape, I highly recommend.
That sounds amazing because I love how it's blending the fangirl element. So like somebody's a fan of the show and is going to be in the show. So I think that's something that people could relate, or like, oh, I aspire to be in whatever show because I really love it. But also the fact that it has the Easter eggs, that sounds really cool. I really love that.
Yes, I think pop culture, nuances, reality TV, Easter eggs too. It's just perfect. So if you're a fan of just, television and reality storytelling, I think it's perfect for you. But I think readers can find a pick in one out of these 5 books.
Absolutely. There's so many amazing ones there, or just read all 5 of them. I mean, summer is long.
Summer is long. The days are long. The days are hot. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Dog days of summer are perfect for escaping into romance.
For sure. Well, thank you so much for bringing such amazing recommendations. I'm sure that everyone's already starting. I think I'm going to start that Annabelle Monaghan today. Yay! It is good.
Yay, so far.
But okay, so remind everybody again, where is the series? When is it starting? What can they get? And of course, download the summer reading guide.
Yes, thanks again so much for having me. You can find me at Biblio Lifestyle on all platforms. The blog is bibliolifestyle.com. YouTube channel, handle on Instagram, and all, you can find me everywhere on social. But the series itself is starting this weekend, so first weekend in July. I think we've got all the summer reading guide and recommendations out the way, but I kind of want to insert some more as well. I released the summer reading guide in May, the end of May going into June. So you can find the summer reading guide exclusively on Substack. But if you want to kind of, get to know a bit about the guide, what you can expect in there, or just maybe browse some book list, go to bibliolifestyle.com. But if you want a gorgeously designed PDF magazine that has not just books, but things to do, fun activities, recipes, a reading challenge, book recommendations for your zodiac sign, and lots more. If you just want everything in one place, you can find that exclusively on Substack, and you can find me at Biblio Lifestyle there as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming today. We'll have to do this again soon. And I'm just excited for all the summer reading.
Yes. Yeah. Happy summer reading, everyone. And thanks again for having me. Bye.
And those are some amazing recommendations that Victoria just shared with us. I know I am going to be adding all of those to my TBR and definitely diving into some of them right away. Let me know if you are as well, or if you've read any of these books and what you thought of them, but also what are your kind kinds of beach reads. So we talked about the fact that everybody has a different kind of style or something that they look for when you think about the term beach reads. Leave that in the comments and let me know what makes the perfect beach read for you. I want to thank again Victoria for coming on and sharing some of these recommendations, and I will leave links to all of the things that Victoria talked about in the description box so you can go and check out her YouTube video series. Also download her summer reading guide as well. If you're tuning in from YouTube, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification so you don't miss any of our videos. And also subscribe for free to our Substack so you don't miss any of the content that we post across all of our platforms. Now, if you want to check out even more book recommendations that are perfect to be reading right now, but maybe some of them are a little bit more paranormal, I did a mid-year check-in with our guest reviewer, Jen, on the podcast as well. And I will leave that video here so you can go and check it out if you haven't watched it yet. Tons of amazing recommendations there that I am sure you'll be wanting to add to your TBR, whether you want to read something paranormal for now or maybe even start planning ahead for your fall TBR as well. But in the meantime, that's all I have for you guys today. I will see you in the next video. Bye!